Welcome to another episode of Mental Wellness Insights, bringing sunlight into mental health. And we thank you for watching part 1 of the episode on tribulations of parents bringing up children with developmental disabilities. Please continue watching to the end. Remember to subscribe, like, comment, click on the notification bell, and please share. God bless. Sometimes I see that you are not able to probably go to church. So your movements, they are...
It's a big challenge. It's a big challenge in terms of you need the comfortability of your child. And right now, for me to connect here to church, I will use public means. I will not feel comfortable when I have in a matatu, where everyone cannot understand you. Someone will just tell you, why are you holding your daughter? Can she not walk? You see? You feel offended. Mm-hmm. So for your comfortability, maybe you need a cab, if at all you don't have a car. And that limits you in terms of maybe you want to go somewhere, and if you don't have a means of going, and you consider public means, you'd rather stay where you are. Mm-hmm. So your social part. So like
occasional taking the children out, maybe to a park or mm-hmm. to just stroll around.
It's a challenge.
It's a challenge.
Yes.
Because you cannot move around
yes.
with Shiro.
Yes.
Wow. How about the family, mm-hmm. the extended family, mm-hmm. your own family? Your in-laws?
I will just thank God so much because my family, they understand me to the length they can understand. They love Shiro, they have a heart for him, and even to the in-laws, she's their heartbeat.
You have never, okay, there is a lady who told me that she was ostracized mm-hmm. by her family mm-hmm. and especially her in-laws, mm-hmm. saying that it is a curse mm-hmm. to have a child like that. Have you ever heard of that? Okay, have you heard of that?
Or I have not experienced
but it. You have heard of that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we thank God that your family have understood.
Yes.
And you have not experienced that.
Yes.
You have talked about caregivers that you have had to really change because it's not easy. Mm. It's not easy.
Mm. And maybe to add on the challenges that we experience, there's another challenge because these children, it's hard for you to understand. Mm. To understand in terms of their emotions, in terms of their feelings. Sometimes, as we started this year, we took Wanjiro to hospital. Mm. Because by last year, she could cry uncontrollably. Reason being, we don't know. Mm. She could feed, she could pass on her stool very well, but when it came to night, she could cry. She could cry. Lack of sleep. You don't know, it drains you so much. You don't know what to do, you don't know where to start, you don't know whether she has pain, you can't even understand. So we took her to hospital and nothing was done much. Mm. And by the time we took her to hospital, she had cried like 5 months down the line, almost every night. Mm. And she can even spend 24 hours without closing her eyes, without sleep.
How do you feel in such a circumstance?
You feel like getting mad. You feel like
it drains you psychologically.
And you feel like you can just leave her and close the door and go. You feel like, even God, where are you? Where are you by this time?
You question God.
Yes. If I'm passing through, if her milestone is not enough, even this cry, where are you? By that time I was so much drained. I could see nightfall and feel as if I can just walk and not come back to my house. because you know what is awaiting you. These children, they have emotions you don't even know where they come from. They can just start doing some things you don't even, like now you have just entered and you had me telling her she's misbehaving because she can put on her hands in her mouth. She's just drooling, wetting her clothes with saliva.
But is that deliberate?
It's not
Not deliberate.
But no,
So
sometimes.
she's not misbehaving.
But sometimes you can't understand. You don't understand. You can't understand. You can't talk to her. Maybe you listen together. So it drains you as a caregiver. It will drain you because you are not understanding. Why is she doing this?
So when she was crying that uncontrollably, did you at one point cry with her? Many times.
I could.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my cry could go to God and ask him, why am I passing this through? Why am I experiencing this? And by God's intervention, I think for it to cease, it was just his divine intervention. Because right now she can't sleep, she never cry. It was a season, but we thank God, it's a lapse.
It took you a bit of time to conceive, to have another child after Shiro. Why was it so?
Much is fear.
Fear.
Yeah. And you feel maybe you will experience the same. And by that time, I know the devil is always so much at work because he will always tell you, this will repeat again. This will still come again. So that fear made me to took a lot of time for me even to consider I can bear another child.
So when you eventually conceived, how was it all the 9 months until you had the baby? And how was it when you had the baby? Did you run to feed, to sleep check?
I thank God because my pregnancy never brings me anyway. I usually have a very smooth pregnancy period, that gestation period. But I had a very quick early zoning to go and tell the doctor, I'm not going to labor. I don't want to labor. I don't want to experience any labor. Let me go to the theater, and if I don't want to experience the same episode, let me nurse my wounds, knowing that my child is okay. Yes.
During the pregnancy, were you often feeling afraid?
The fear was
worrying.
there. Yes. Until I went to a pastor and I told him, Mal, I'm so fearful. Can you just pray for me? Yes, the fear was too much. And even for the second pregnancy, it was not too much, but as compared to the third pregnancy, I had a lot of fear.
The third one?
Yes.
Oh.
The third one.
Why fear and yet you had gone through a smooth one?
I don't know. Yes, I don't know. There was a lot of fear.
So you had a lot of anxiety?
Yes.
Oh, okay. But you went to the pastor and
yes.
He prayed for you?
Yes, she prayed for me and just told me that the angels of God are just before you.
How did you feel the second pregnancy and the second birth? How did you feel when you held your baby in your arms? And
it was so enjoyable, very enjoyable. And my first alert was, does my child cry? Have he cried?
So you would even want to
yes, have he cried? Because from 1-0 the cry was not there. So my first thing, my ears were very attentive. Have he cried?
A mother wanting to hear the child cry.
Yes.
Oh, that is life.
Yeah.
But God is faithful. He gave you a good son and another good son. And so how do you feel right now?
I feel so much blessed. So much blessed to an extent that sometimes I don't recall Wanjiru's challenge in one way.
Good.
No. I don't. I don't. So it's like they relieved and that burden just came off. I used to cry too much. I really don't even think that by then, if I didn't have these other two boys, I would be able to be interviewed, because the whole session would be crying.
Now you don't cry.
I will only cry to just thank God for the far you have brought us.
What do you think, or what do you plan about Shiro's education?
That's a big question.
Have you ever thought about that?
I've never thought about it, but I've never taken it as a bother, because sometimes I look at her and tend to think, will she understand? There was a time I asked the doctor, it's like you look at her and feel as if she doesn't think, you see? But the doctor told me, she's thinking. If she can move her hand, if she can move her legs, that is the work of the brain.
Does Shiro ever smile, laugh?
Yes.
Yes. She laughs when what happens? What makes her laugh?
Anytime I get in the house, she hears me, she will laugh.
Yeah, so that answers that question. Does she think?
Can, even Kamau can just twinkle her, she just play around with her, she'll laugh.
That tells you that she has feeling like everybody else. And she thinks like everybody else. You say you have therapy twice a week. Have you seen change from the time you started till now?
Yeah, there's a big change, because right now the reflex is in terms of moving her legs, in terms of her bearing the weight. You can see it's just something so slight for her to bear, and even to know how to stand. So for therapy sessions, and that helps her in terms of maybe sleeping, eating well, making her calm. Maybe she feel fatigued. Can you imagine sitting all the way, all day long, seated somewhere? You feel your body is not functioning well. So when she have those sessions, she's able to sleep well, to eat well. Yeah.
And now I want you to say something to that mother who is going through the same thing that you have gone through.
Mine is to encourage someone maybe who might be going the same journey and have lost the hope. There's hope in God, because He makes things beautiful by His own time. And by His own time, you don't know what is that time and when will happen. So mine is just to tell you to have hope, to have faith in God, because Job said there's a hope for a tree that is cut down to bud and to spring up again. Any situation, I know there's no situation that is permanent under the sun. Every season, every situation will cease and will change. It will change for better. Be hopeful that it will change for better, not for us, but for better. With Christ on our side, we can move every storm. And that is the anchor, and that's what gives me hopes. In terms of Wanjiro, because I recall there was a time she could take medication in terms of conversions. She started when she was 5 months, and the journey was tough. It was so rough. It was rough because we could buy those medicine for 10,000 in a month. And as I speak this, God is faithful, because He came through, He healed her, and now she doesn't take any medication. Himizo langu, or what I can encourage someone, is just to have faith, a strong faith, no matter how small it is. Just know that God is there, and He's watching over you, and He will not let you be overcome by what you're going through. He gives us He give us what we can be able to bear.
Yeah,
will
He
not
doesn't give you temptation
Yes.
beyond what you can bear.
Exactly.
And if He does, He will give you grace.
True. The grace is always sufficient.
Yes.
He will hold your hand, and He tells us that in His right hand there is strength. He told Jacob, do not be afraid, do not be dismayed. By my right hand, I will uphold you. Just know that hand is there to uphold you. That hand is there, reaching out for you. He being the master of the nature, He is the master over your child. Mine is to just tell someone, let your faith be in God. Not to the partner that you have, because he's limited, he don't have the ability. And even for us, as we do those sessions, we do because we are limited. For God, healing is just instant. But we hope and we have faith. We walk every day having that faith and having that hope that God is there and He knows when this season will come to an end. And when it come to an end, it's for His own glory.
What about word to the public, to those other people who...
Mine to the public is that people should be educated in terms of children who are born differently able, challenges, mental challenges, because like my daughter, her issue is not the organs or the body parts, it's the brain. People out there, be so much helpful to that person you see in the street. Not to gaze at them, not to stare as if this is something you have never seen. If you feel like you can't understand, just talk to that woman, talk to that father. What is the issue with your child? Would you like to be educated? Because I will feel so uncomfortable. I'm seated somewhere, someone is just staring at you like this. As if you are an alien. We are not Aryans, they are not Aryans, they are people. And God have given them to us the way they are. So to the public, don't criticize. Don't speak bad words. You don't know the wound, how it is. Don't know the pain that parent is bearing. Be a heart that is so much, be like a balm. You can soothe that wound. Not some salt that you can just come and put inside. No, you'll make that wood to burn even more. Be someone who is so helpful. Be a shoulder that someone can lean on. I don't think someone, to some extent, some people thought that when you are carrying such kind of kids, you are a beggar. No. Some will think maybe he see you in the street and assume maybe you are begging because of your child. No. Be accommodative. And like someone said, disability is not inability. God have given them their special way and they are not limited. So to the public, be someone who is so welcoming, so much understanding. I usually say there's no one who can just tell God, I just need such kind of a kid. No, there's no one in the universe, no one. Situations get to us, they happen to us, so we carry on with what we have.
If you are told to give a last just one wish to God and He will grant it, what is the wish?
My wish is that my God renew the brain of my daughter.
Amen.
Yes, that is my wish. Renew it, fix it again. That is my wish.
Okay, thank you very much. I know that you are a hero because I know how much you love your family and especially your daughter. I know how much you take care of this daughter, and I know you have no shame whatsoever to go around with Shiro.
True.
And everything, we leave everything to God.
Sure.
And I know that God has given you a lot of strength. Because I know that you are a strong woman, and therefore use that strength to encourage others, because there are others who are still very, very low emotionally. Do you have any group, social group, maybe of people going through the same things, where you meet and maybe share experiences?
Yeah, I have 2 groups. One is called Embrace Cerebral Palsy, and there is another one which calls itself Tough Caregivers. We are tough because we must become tough. The world out there is so hostile. If you can't become tough for your child, who else will it be? So, an embrace talks of us embracing each and every one of us, because we must ignite each other and give each other support in terms of our social part of our life. And there's another one called Diaper for a Smile. And if someone you know in so much need, you can just give me her contact. I pass on to that woman. She just gives diapers. Like tomorrow we'll be going to Sharon Hospital, where she offered diapers. And we thank God, because out of her, we are able to put a smile on our faces. Because as I told you, these children need diapers. That is someone just who have got that burden, and she extend her support to us.
Okay. If somebody wanted maybe to give you an assistance, what type of assistance? What is the dire assistance?
My dire assistance will be for the supplement. The supplement. Yes.
Which supplement is it?
Usually you use BF Suma supplement. That in terms of this one she have been using, and like for 2 months have not been able to buy it. It's called Cerebrain. It helps in terms of brain getting the right nutrients. And I told you, if we feed her the food that she's taking, the percentage in the food is not much as compared to what is in that supplement. So my dire wish is someone who can support me in that. I'll be so much thankful, because when she's using those mini supplements, I usually see there's a change.
How much are they per, for example, a month or?
What that Cerebrain she was taking is 4,000 per capsules, per a pack of 60 tablets.
And she takes one per day or?
Yeah, 1 tablet a day. So that one will last for a month. Yes.
Okay. Fine. Thank you so very much for doing this. I know this will encourage somebody.
Yeah.
This will save somebody.
Yeah.
And the Lord will bless you.
And mine is to thank you, even for what you thought about. It's actually, I don't know, it's divine for you to think such a thing, because God maybe gave you that burden to reach out for those mental issues that are not spoken out, issues that are hidden in the house. They are not exposed. So may God really bless you. May He really encourage you, even as you go to situations maybe you feel like this is too much for you. May His grace be sufficient for you. May He sustain you. May He support you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you for watching the last part of this episode on children with developmental disabilities. If you are touched and you'd like to help Elizabeth in any way, please reach out. Remember to subscribe, to like, to comment, to click on the notification bell. Blessings.